In 2023, I went to 10 different festivals, and I'm going to rate them all between 1 through 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and if I think you should go to them or not. The first festival I attended this year was Groove Cruise Miami. It is held in January for about 4 days. We set sail out of Miami, went to Labadee, Haiti, and then back to Miami. This was my first time ever doing a festival cruise, and let me tell you, it will not be my last time. I loved Groove Cruise so damn much. There is no festival experience like it. Like, I know that there are other festival cruises like Holy Ship and Friendship, I think, but I've never been on those. I can't speak on those, but there's nothing like it. And I know there's now an EDC, like EDC on sea, get it? But let me tell you, if you've never done a festival cruise, this is your sign to do one. And after this, I don't even think I could do a regular cruise. Like, we're all there on a festival cruise for the same reason, because we all love the music, and there's no children there. There were some older people there because Groove Cruise has been around for like over 20 years. This is their 20th anniversary in 2024, their 20th sailing, something like that. Either way, so there's been people that have been doing this for a very long time, but the age thing doesn't matter. You're only as old as you feel. So I did see, I would say, like what you would call a grandma on board, and just a lot of significantly older people, but we're all there to have a good time and have fun. And I know that there are adult only cruises, but this is just different, and everything about it, the production, the level of stages that they had, the food that's just available at all times, like in the buffet or on the pool deck, the artists, and overall just the vibe. It's so easy to make friends on board. You hang out with them all week. This last one I did, it was, I guess, kind of a fairly small ship. 2024 is going to be the largest ship to date, but it was just easy to keep running into the same people. And like, I had my cell service on, not everybody did, but even like the friends that didn't, I was still just able to just keep running into them. Just overall, the vibes are immaculate. I do appreciate that it is a little bit more of an older crowd. I am in my 30s, so I get it, everybody has the right to rave, but I feel like the younger people that come in, like 21, 22, they're just there to get fucked up. Overall, Groove Cruise was just so tremendously fun. I'm doing it again. I'm going on Groove Cruise 2024. I'm so excited. So as you can guess, my rating for this is probably gonna be a 10 out of 10 if you didn't guess that, but yes, hands down, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Festival number 2 is We Belong Here. It is held in Virginia Key in Miami, Florida in February. That, I believe, was the second year that it has been in production. 2024 is going to be the third year, obviously. I've only went one time. And overall, it's a very just basic, no frills festival. I would not travel here for this festival. Like, if I didn't live in Miami, I wouldn't go to it. It's small, it's 2 days. Virginia Key is a great venue. It's on the water, so you have the option to like go sit on the beach and listen to music, but it is very small. I did like the food. The food was provided by Smorgasburg. If you don't know what that is, it's like this little like food market that's in like, we have a staple of it in Wynwood, but I know it's also like in Pittsburgh or something like that. So it's just a lot of variety of options. So if you've ever been to a Smorgasburg in Miami or Pittsburgh or whatever cities that they have them in, you kind of get the idea. So overall, like, the food was actually pretty good. They didn't provide free water. There were no water stations. They did say that they were offering free water bottles until the sun went down. I never found that. So overall, it's just a very basic, minimal festival. I don't have any desire to go back to it in 2024. So if this is something you want to check out, I guess. But yeah, I wouldn't specifically travel all the way to Miami for this. So my overall rating for this festival is going to be a 7 out of 10. Like, it was fun. I wouldn't do it again unless the lineup is just like super stacked. Festival number 3 is Ultra Miami, held every March in the same week of Miami Music Week. So if you don't know what Miami Music Week is, it's a week long full of events all over the city of Miami. So it starts like on Sunday and ends the following Sunday pretty much. There are pool parties here in South Beach or pools and the other places. Space has something, Factory Town has something. Like there are just events all over the city and they're so damn good. Let me just say, I am an Ultra stan. Ultra gets such a bad rap because I come here and they're like, there's no plur there, like nobody's nice. And I'm just like, I have never had that experience. I've been to 3 Ultras. I'm going to my 4th one in 2024 because I love it. And I've never had a bad experience with the plur or anything like that. But like, here's the thing. Ultra Miami is like an international festival. So it brings in people from all over the world. And not everybody has like that plur mindset. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're rude or they're mean. I've traveled and festivaled all over the world. And there are places that just don't say excuse me when they're walking through. That's not because they're rude. That's just not their culture or their custom. But in my opinion, I don't think that there's a lack of plur. There are shitty people. There are shitty people every festival you go to, let me just say. And I'm at the point where like, I don't get deep inside the crowds. Obviously, if you get deep inside the crowds, you're gonna get pushed, you're gonna get shoved, you're gonna get stepped on just because everybody's like crowding. And then you're also risking being next to people that are fucked up and then just like jumping all over the place and crazy and just have no like spatial awareness. So I stay my ass in the back and I've never had an issue with that. Lineup is just stacked every damn year. They always have like the best techno, tech house artists that come. Like being inside the Resistance stage is my favorite. Like it is just so damn good in there. So in my opinion, like the lineup is just always top tier. The production, like the stage is amazing. The venue is so small, so like to what it's grown into, they tried to move it. My first Ultra was at Virginia Key, where We Belong Here's at now, or part of it, and I stayed out there for 1 year just because it was just inconvenient. I'm not going to get into the logistics of that, but it was just not a good venue. They moved it back to Bayfront, and as much as I love the iconic Bayfront venue, it's really small. So like it gets so crowded in certain areas and trying to like get by certain areas, like it's just damn near impossible. But like, I don't want them to move it from Bayfront. It's so iconic, just like seeing the city in the background, just absolutely beautiful. What I suggest, like, this festival's already so damn expensive. Like right now, the GA tickets are at $450, like GA. VIP is like $2,000. VIP is just not on my radar for Ultra. But the good thing about GA is like this last year, everybody had access to the nice air-conditioned bathrooms with the running water and the flushable toilets. So I know that that's a reason why some people get GA Plus or even VIP for the bathrooms, but with GA, we all had access to those bathrooms, so cool. But here's the thing though, like, I want them to keep it at Bayfront. I just want them to like limit the capacity. I sell less tickets at a higher price to make it just a little bit more comfortable. But I am an Ultra stan through and through. We'll be going back to Ultra as long as I live in Miami. It's easy for me. So if you don't live in Miami and you think, oh my God, this is such an expensive festival to go to, try it at least once. Come and form your own opinion about it. Don't just go with everybody else's opinions on Ultra. Come and see for your damn self. And then also too, come and experience Miami Music Week. So my rating for Ultra is a 9 out of 10. My 4th festival of the year was Creamfields in Hong Kong. What the F? And that was held at the beginning of May. Like Ultra and Creamfields were like pretty much back to back. So that was a crazy experience. So the lineup itself wasn't some heavy hitter, honestly. Like, of course, I wanted to see John Summit and like Above and Beyond. But in general, I wanted to go to this festival because it was in Hong Kong. I've always wanted to go to Hong Kong. I love Asia. Asia's my favorite continent to travel. I just love Asian countries and I just wanted to get back to Asia. So my main thing was like, I wasn't so crazy about the lineup, but I was like, I just want to go to Hong Kong. The venue itself was really, really small. It was only 2 stages, really, really small, easy to get back and forth to, and there was really nothing special about it. It did kind of remind me of Ultra, like being downtown on the waterfront. Like the location of it was spectacular. Downtown on the waterfront, you could see the city in the back, just like Bayfront in Miami. However, like it's just very small and there's no amenities or anything like it. Like I don't think that VIP had better bathrooms. Like everybody just used porta potties. There weren't that many food options. Lines for the bar were the craziest lines I've ever seen. Like those people were probably waiting an hour in a line. So those are my complaints. Like there's really nothing special about it other than it being in Hong Kong. So if you want to go to Hong Kong, cool, but like I wouldn't travel specifically for that festival. Like I said, I wanted to go to Hong Kong, so I went and did other things in Hong Kong outside of this festival. So I wouldn't travel there for this. I'm in the middle of editing my video and I came to the Hong Kong part and I just like put up the lineup. I can't believe I forgot. I feel like a jackass. Calvin Harris was on that lineup. Hello. That was my favorite set of the year. I haven't seen him since 2016. So aside from everything else that wasn't great about Creamfields itself, it being a low-key festival, wouldn't travel there, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Calvin Harris. I can't believe I forgot. My rating for this festival is a 7 out of 10. My 5th festival was Sunset on the Sand here in Miami, held in May. So this is the second year that they did Sunset on the Sand. It's usually during F1 weekend. It's held right on the beach. I live here in South Beach, so I'm able to walk to it, and it's a very small festival. One stage, it's 3 days. Here are the artists that were there last year. Like the artists are pretty good, and the price is great for a 3-day festival. I remember like the first year when I paid $30 for all 3 days. This year I think I paid $60, which is still good considering I just have to walk there. A cute festival if you're local. It's very basic. There's no frills, there's no amenities, there's nothing exciting about it. So if you live in Miami, cool. I would not travel for this at all. I remember one of my friends hit me up. She was like, hey girl, this looks lit. Like she lives in Texas. And I was like, girl, I would not travel for this. Unless you obviously love coming to Miami and have plenty of other things to do. This is just not a festival I would travel in for. They had a big problem this year. So apparently they oversold tickets. So I got in there at a decent time on day 2 and I didn't even know this was happening, but apparently they stopped letting people in that bought tickets. They reached capacity. They stopped letting people in, which is crazy. If you bought a ticket, let these people in. We're on the beach. Like the further back you go, like there was plenty of space back there. But yeah, apparently they oversold capacity. So people started jumping the fence and storming the gates. So that was crazy. I didn't even realize that was happening just because I was in the crowd. But yeah, it's a cute festival. As long as I live here on the beach and the lineup is pretty decent, I would go back. But overall, I'm gonna give this festival a 6 out of 10. My 6th festival this year was EDC Las Vegas, also held in May. This was my 5th EDC and this was by far my best EDC of my life. I hadn't been in such a long time. Like I started going to EDC into the 2013 golden era of raving. I'm so thankful for that. But this was just a completely different experience. This was my first time having VIP. This was my first time camping. This is the festival that me and like every single person I've met in the rave community on TikTok and on Instagram, like we were all there together. The vibes were immaculate. There was nothing like it. There will never be an EDC that will ever compare to this, ever. So I got VIP. That ticket's about $900. Yes, that is expensive, but I put that shit on a layaway plan, so it makes it easier to kind of digest that price. But I recommend VIP. I love it. You get fast track to all of the rides. If you ride the rides, I'm a rider, so I was getting on those little roller coasters and stuff. And then you have like your own dedicated viewing areas. You get the nice upgraded bathrooms. You have access to food that you don't have out there. Like I ate a hot Cheeto Korean corn dog in VIP. I didn't see that anywhere else in that festival. And I walked that whole venue because I did a venue tour. But anyway, so yeah, overall trying VIP was great. Camping was great. For the convenience of it, I'm not a camper. I did do an RV. There's no way in hell I'd ever do one of those pods. Like I had so many friends that did those pods and they were miserable. However, I don't need to do camping again. So after experiencing these things, I would say if you're gonna do EDC, I've done the hotel and shuttle. I've done, you know, staying off the strip, renting my own car, all the things. So I would say after trying so many different things, my best recommendation is to get a hotel and shuttle package because the camping just wasn't it for me. I want to be able to shower and use the bathroom as I please and not have to get up and walk and stand in lines in the heat. So it's just not my thing. But EDC overall, it's been the same thing that it's been since I started going in 2013. The production is always out of this world. The fireworks show, the theatrics, the amenities, the artists, all of it is just always top tier. Pasquale blows it out of the water every single EDC. So that's not even a question about that. However, I'm just done doing it. I've already done it 5 times. I don't want to do it again. And this was the first year that I really noticed, because like I said, I haven't gone in such a long time. I went in 2021 when they had it in October. That didn't really count. Like, it was our first like big EDC after COVID. Like, there was really not that many people there, I feel. But this year, like, there were just certain parts that were just so tremendously crowded. And I feel like EDC is one of those festivals that it's a free-for-all. People that don't listen to the music go because they just want to party and get fucked up. So I get it. You want to party, whatever. That's just not my vibe. Like, if you don't like the music, then don't go. That's just my opinion. And so, yeah. Like, at this point, I'm just like over EDC. I'm ready for new experiences, but absolutely, if you've never done it before, you need to experience EDC Las Vegas. There's nothing that I can even compare it to. Like, I've been to Tomorrowland. That's just on a scale on its own. Being like the biggest American festival, go. So I give EDC an 8 out of 10. My 7th festival was Hard Summer in Los Angeles, held in August. This was my very first Hard Summer. It's gonna be my last. So what got me wanting to go to Hard Summer was the lineup. When it first dropped, there wasn't even a question about it. I bought the ticket right away. As the time came, I just wasn't as excited for it, but I still went because I wanted to experience it. And there was a lot of chatter about it being at this new venue. I don't know where Hard Summer used to be held because I'm not from LA, but there was a lot of chatter about the venue, and people were complaining about it, that it was just too spread out and this and that. I actually really liked the venue. I liked the setup of the stages and using like the Coliseum. Like, there were 2 different like stadium style seating. Like, I thought the venue was pretty cool. I didn't have an issue with that. What I did have an issue with was the crowding. There were certain parts that were so tremendously crowded. The best way I could describe it is like if like that Travis Scott concert, the Astroworld, like at certain parts, I had no control over which way my body was moving. It got just so tight and cramped and hot and scary. Like, I was just trying to go from one stage to the next, and we were just all stuck. And at one point, I was walking by myself. At one point, somebody grabbed my hand and was just like pulling me with them. They probably didn't even realize it was me. They were probably trying to pull their friend, but it got scary, crowded, and that happened day 1. And I was like, I'm not going back day 2. I'm not going back day 2. It sounds miserable, but I went with Alyssa, and she was like, just go for a little bit even. So I did, and I'm glad that I did, because I saw that by day 2 they did implement a little bit more crowd control, implemented like one-way walking, like where you only go one direction, and then if you need to go back the other way, you have to go a whole different route. So I did appreciate that. But I remember just reading the comments of those after day 1, and people were saying that this was the worst edition of Hard Summer that they had ever been to. So, and I believe it, because what the fuck. Also too, I feel like this is also another festival that's like a free-for-all. There were just so many people there that were visibly fucked up, like just stumbling and throwing up, like seeing vomit on the floor, or like it was just trashy, you know? So I just feel like maybe that just draws a crowd that just wants to go there and party and not necessarily there for the music. And I've already mentioned that on my EDC review, that's just not my vibe. I will not be going back to Hard. And just because of my experience, I don't recommend it either. Like, sometimes I'm always like, just go experience it for yourself. And you know what? I am gonna say that. I am gonna say that I'm not here to deter anybody, just like how I feel about ultras. There's people that will never go back to ultra, but I'm an ultra stan, so I'm like, form your own opinion. So you know what? If you want to go to Hard, go to Hard. I just don't recommend it. I will never go back. I give Hard a 2 out of 10. That was the worst festival I did this year. My 8th festival was Arc Music Festival, held in Chicago in September, and this was so much fun. So Arc is a house and techno only festival, which is right up my alley. All roads lead to techno. So I used to be a little bass baddie. Like, I was at that Excision set, and not anymore. So Arc in general, right up my alley. All my kinds of music. I enjoyed every single stage because I like all of the music. So it's held in downtown Chicago. It's a great location. It's easy to get to if you stay like in the vicinity. Like they have the Metro Mover or like the Metro Rail, whatever you want to call it, to get like easy to and from, or even like it's super walkable too. I know we would take the Metro there every day, and then we would walk back at night. Even like a 30-minute walk didn't even feel like anything. There's so much food along the way too, like get a little snack on the way home. I overall just love the location of it. The venue is small, it's super walkable, it's super easy, but I feel like it's not such a so crowded festival that even though it's small, there was only one stage in particular that did get a little bit crowded, but other than that, like main stage or the Elro 10 were phenomenal. Also, this was the best food I've ever had at any festival, like so damn good. I was eating chicken tikka masala fries, what, like gyros, like they had just a nice variety of food, so good, delicious. Like that's what stands out to me, one of them, because like I eat at every festival, so that definitely stood out to me. The crowd is a little bit older. I've already mentioned this in so many different occasions. Like I like an older crowd. I'm in my 30s now, so the crowd's a little bit older, and I feel like what comes with an older crowd is just more respect, that people are genuinely just like have better vibes, they're more respectful, they're not visibly fucked up, nobody's stumbling, you don't have to take care of anybody, they're just like that grown mindset. So I really appreciate the older vibes. This was my second favorite festival this year. I think it's a tie with Groove Cruise, obviously for different reasons. Like both were like top festivals, but I like them both just for different reasons because they're entirely two different festivals. But I love ARC, highly recommend, especially if you're a house and techno fan, you gotta go. It's wonderful. I give this festival a 10 out of 10. My 9th festival was Tomorrowland Brazil. This was held in October. I've always wanted to go to Brazil. I did Tomorrowland Belgium last year with Alyssa, so we bought tickets and we went to Tomorrowland Brazil together, and that was a crazy experience. So let me just say first off that this is not Belgium. Do not compare Tomorrowland Brazil to Tomorrowland Belgium. That was kind of like our mistake. We just had so many expectations of what Brazil would be like just because we did Belgium. Yes, it's the same brand, but it's a different festival. So for one, like it's obviously significantly smaller, understandable. There was a lot of things that I did enjoy about the festival, but there were also some downsides to it. So I did do the Global Journey Hotel package. Highly recommend for Tomorrowland Brazil. It's so comfortable, it's so convenient. We did Tomorrowland Belgium camping, no, but this was like the best of both worlds, this package. So there were only 2 hotel options. We went with like the gold, the more better option, provides a shuttle to and from the festival every day. The hotel, it's basically food round the clock. The buffet is pretty much open round the clock for us. Like everything's extended. You know, sometimes like the breakfast ends at 10 o'clock at certain places. No, like brunch and breakfast go to 2 p.m. There's a midnight snack that goes until 4 a.m. after the festival ends. That was not a midnight snack. It's a full spread, like the pasta and chicken and pizza, just all of the things. And then we also had access to the pre-party called The Gathering at Dreamville. So normally in Belgium, the only people that can go to the pre-party, The Gathering, are people staying in Dreamville. Like the hotel packages in Belgium don't get access to Dreamville. We did. So like we got the benefits of camping without actually having to camp. So overall, the package was a phenomenal idea. So that's what I recommend if you're gonna do it. So my complaints though about this was that the location of this festival is not even in Sao Paulo. Like it's 2 hours basically outside of like Sao Paulo airport or like the city center. So it's a little bit of a trek to get to. They don't provide, for the hotel packages, they did not provide shuttles to and from the airport. So that's on your own to figure out how you're gonna get like from the Sao Paulo airport to 2 hours into Itu. That's like the city state of it. Day 1 of the actual festival, it was raining, it was pouring. It's in this little town, so there's like these 2-lane roads. It took 3 hours on the shuttle to get into the festival. Once we finally got into the festival, like the grounds were destroyed because it was so damn muddy. So because of all of that happened, like certain parts of the festival just were so unbearably crowded because they couldn't access the entirety of the festival grounds. The stage was this huge giant mud pit, so people were standing in the very, very back or at the very, very bottom because they were sliding down into it, or people were trying to be, and they covered tent areas. Day one was a struggle. When it finally stopped raining and I got into the techno stage where it was covered, I had the best time of my life. Took off my poncho, no umbrella. I wasn't like sloshing around in mud because the ground was hard. That was great. Unfortunately, they canceled day 2 because of what happened. Thankfully for us, because we had the Global Journey package, they put together another party in the gathering. So thankfully we got to go to that. But if you didn't have a Global Journey ticket and if you weren't camping, you just missed out on day 2 altogether. They are issuing refunds though, so bravo to Merlin. We appreciate that. But day 3 of the festival, the sun was shining, the grounds were dry. They fixed that shit. They fixed it. They did what they could. They laid down so many like plastic flooring to create walkways for the parts that were super muddy still. So they did a good job of fixing it. So overall, it's hard to judge this festival because I didn't get the entire experience of it. What I did get, I did enjoy. I don't want to go back just because I've already done Brazil. I'm only doing things in festivals and countries that I've never been to, but they are bringing it back for 2024. And yeah, I would recommend it because it's still a Tomorrowland brand. Even though things didn't go as planned, they did what they could to make up for it, and appreciate that. Thank you, Tomorrowland. So yes, I do recommend this, and just go to Brazil. Don't go to Brazil just for Tomorrowland. Like, plan a trip around it, spend time outside of it, go to Rio de Janeiro and stuff, because that's what I did. I give Tomorrowland Brazil an 8 out of 10. My 10th festival of the year was 3 Points, held in Miami, and it's held in October. So apparently 3 Points has been going on for 10 years. This was the 10th anniversary of it. This was my 2nd year. After I went last year, I was like, I love 3 Points. I want to go every year that I'm in Miami. So 3 Points is held in Wynwood. It is such a cool venue. The way that they transform Wynwood into this amazing venue. There's so many aspects and things to do and see and amenities at this festival. It's great. There's so many different stages. The lineup is so diverse. There's like a little bit of everything for everybody. They utilize the convention center. Like, there's a skating ring in there. There's art installations all over the place. There's so many good photo ops, because if you know anything about Wynwood, you know like everything is like spray painted and graffitied. Like, it is just so damn cool. I do love the venue, but I feel like, I think I said this in damn near every freaking thing, that certain parts of it did get crowded. So I think that's just what it is. Like, if you have like a really big well-known artist, you just need to do a little bit of crowd control, maybe not put them at such a small stage just because you know people are going to want to see them. So just fix a little bit of crowd control. If you've never been to 3 Points, it's absolutely worth checking out. Like, this is a festival like I would travel here for, because it's cool. They got their shit together. It's long running. They've been doing it for a while. It is a good time. As long as I live in Miami, I'm definitely going to go to this. If you don't live in Miami, come and see it. The people that have traveled for this love it and continue to come back. So yes, I absolutely recommend 3 Points, and my rating for this festival is a 9 out of 10. That was my 2023 breakdown of all the 10 festivals that I went to this year. And now, these are just the festivals. I live in Miami, let's say BFFR, that there are a ton of events here as well. So I don't count like one-day events or shows at M2 or Space or like Factory Town. So I didn't just do 10 events. Like, I do things all year long, but these are like the big scale festivals that are like 2 to 3 days. That was my year, and let me just say, as fun as that was, done are the days of me doing 10 festivals in a year. I've been doing this for the last like 5 years, it seems like, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I've already mentioned before that I'm over repeating festivals. Like, I only want to experience new things, new festivals, new countries. So that means like really cutting back and saving my money and prioritizing my money to keep traveling the globe. I don't want to just keep doing these American festivals over and over and over again, unless they're festivals I haven't done before, with the exception of Miami festivals. I live here, so it's not a huge expense for me. It's for me to go to Ultra, for me to go to 3 Points or whatever. I don't have anything booked for 2024 yet. I do have some thoughts. So that's gonna be a different video because at the beginning of this year, I made a 2023 Dream Lineup Festival. So in my 2024 Dream Lineup Festival and travel destination, I'm gonna talk about what I want to do in 2024 and then review my 2023 and see if I made it to all those festivals or not. Spoiler, I did some and some I didn't, so it'd be cool to review that. So that was my year. It was a lot of fun. I'm excited for 2024 and to do new experiences, new things. And if you have any other questions about any of the festivals that I've mentioned, drop a comment down below. Thank you guys for the support. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.